Welcome here at another sharing video at Life of a Hippie CEO. I must say, at the end of my last sharing video, I did this, oh god, I hope that next time it will be better thing, and I didn't make 3 amazing sales through my funnel and stuff, but I at least found my enthusiasm back. So yeah, that changes the entire world. It still feels a bit shitty that I made this entire sales funnel and I also promoted it to my list and still nobody bought. So now there have been I think maybe 120 people or so have gone through my funnel and no single person has bought anything. But I feel more in a place of too joyful to really care about it. How to put this? Let's just first talk about what got me here in the first place. So it was really awesome that I took a few days off last time after everybody in the world told me so. And I didn't even take that much time off as I'd like to. I was still working a bit. I was slowing down on myself, taking it more easy. But I still was doing some things. And then in that place of not focusing too much on these things that had gotten me so stuck, like the funnel and what to change, or my new freebie that would be the perfect opt-in because, well, I have a list building course now, I should only create perfect stuff, which made me doubt my entire niche and everything altogether. In not having to do all of these things, I felt like this tiny spark of joy to think about a blog article I could write about contacting your inner wisdom. And when I was typing a bit about the outline and some phrases that came to me, I thought, oh, but I can also do this and I can also do this. And all of a sudden I had outline for 4 articles. And then I thought, I was already considering doing an inner wisdom course, but I had put it off because, I don't know, I think I got discouraged about course making quite a lot. And I got discouraged in the first place because all my launches so far have not been that much of a success. And then I bought Courses That Convert from Amy Porterfield, and I listened to her beta testing module lesson, and I'm definitely someone who needs to do beta testing, but she does it so thoroughly, and at first that just made me freak out completely. I think it was one of the things that caused me to get into this really low vibe. I was already there, but it didn't help to not sink in any deeper. What did I want to say now? It was so overwhelming and big that when I listened to it, when I felt shitty about my company, I just was like, oh my god, I can never do a launch again. If I have to do it like this, it will never work. It's so much work. I can't do this. I'm not even a decent course creator. I don't know nothing about inner wisdom, etc., etc. But then when I felt this enthusiasm, I thought, well, now that I'm doing this, let's post in my Facebook group, the Happiness Committers, to see if it resonates with people and to ask them what questions do you have on the topic of inner wisdom? Just as a quick validation method. And then a lot of people reacted so enthusiastic and their questions gave me new input for the post. And then I thought, I could use this post as a sort of launch sequence when I'm doing this course. And then I got completely excited. And I decided, maybe I can do the course. So I took Amy's Courses That Convert. At first it completely scared me off. And I took the planner and I mapped out my entire 5 months or so. I've never planned this much in advance. And I was more okay, it is going to be tough. It is going to be a super large project now that I have to do that amazing big beta testing thing that Amy talks about. But I'm just going to give myself the time to do so. So I mapped everything out, taking only small steps every week. And then I get so excited that I spent my whole weekend going through Amy's course and making notes of all the lessons. And yeah, it was so good. And then I also, when I made this planning, decided to now really do that virtual summit that I've wanted to do for, I don't know, it feels like 2 years, but it probably was just something like a few months. And I never planned it, and now I felt like, okay, this is the time. And then I'm going to first do my virtual summit, and I really, really hope that it will bring in 1,000 new people for my mailing list or something. So I have like a really decent big list to launch to when my course is ready in November. And I must say, of course, I'm still super scared. My last launches didn't leave me with much confidence for the future, but I do get some confidence from the fact that this time I'm going to do it with Amy's course. And one important thing that I realized is that I kept thinking, oh, I have this webinars course, I have the list building courses, I have all the launching stuff done, all the sales part of it, and still I don't make any money. And I forgot that actually making your course is marketing as well. It's like it's adjusting your course to the market, and I've never done it before. I just created from like, oh, this is what I think would be nice and what I think would work, and I used my own language. And now I realize, now that I've gone through Amy's entire course, that half of making your course is making it suitable for the market and making it like first being able to say it's something they like and they would like, and then having the content and the messaging and everything around it be more understandable for your market as well. So that gives me some new hope that maybe my marketing flaws or the missing piece of the puzzle wasn't in my webinar particularly, but maybe it was also in the marketing part that's in course creation. So who knows, this time we're going to have something that gives me like a sort of decent payout. But what I also really like was Amy's perspective of, she said if it's your first course, you're probably going to think you're going to make a lot more money from it than you're actually going to. So set a certain amount of money you want to make with this course, but don't expect yourself to get it all in the first launch, the first time you put the course online. Just give yourself a year to reach that number. And that takes so much stress away as well. I mean, of course I want to get more money quick and stuff, but I think I really have to let go of that if I want to stay happy and sane at the same time, because otherwise all my weeks are going to be like the last few miserable, insecure weeks. So that helps. I'm not even sure if I'm going to put up a launch goal. Maybe I will if I feel happy about it, but maybe I will just put this in 1 year. I want to make this amount of money from the course goal. And I'm going to use Tester, so I also hope that will make the course a lot better. And then I feel like there were 100 more things I wanted to talk with you about. Oh yeah, because that was one point of the equation, but it wasn't everything that made me come into this more enthusiastic sphere again. But what was? I really thought I was going to have this cool story for you on what brought me in a happy place again, but I don't know. I mean, during it, as I very skeptically and pessimistic talked about in my last video, it did help to talk to my good friend about my business, like my business friend who is also setting up her own business. And although the effect didn't last very long, it was good to have these moments where at least I felt a bit confident. And then talking to other business owners helped a little bit as well, but it could also very quickly be overwhelming or confront me too much or leave me feeling drained. So yeah, I can really advise you to find like one person that really you can connect with on an emotional level, that you feel comfortable enough with to be open with your feelings, also to say it when something isn't helping you. I still find this very difficult, but I feel that with Julia, my current business buddy, it's fairly easy to do, and it just helps that we were already friends, and we were used to talking about things on an emotional level, and I miss this a bit with the other business owners I've contact with, and that I only know through Skype and never met in person, and we never got very personal. Of course, sometimes you don't have the luxury of like randomly having your friend go all business owner. Like I used to know nobody who was a business owner, and for a long time I live in such a strange time zone thing, in a way that I think maybe 9 months ago Julia started her own business, and I was like, oh yeah, so then in this very long time ago that now already feels like 2 years for me, dan... Ik wil nog een sharing filmpje aan het maken. Oké, maar ga je vooral doen dat je mij niet hoort? Maybe I'm just going to leave that in for the sake of not editing sharing videos. My boyfriend just came home and I feel really awkward when I know he's listening, so I asked him to go away, and I still feel like now he can hear me, but I also shouldn't wait too long with talking to you again. Naturally, I completely forgot my story. Yeah, something about, well, first when Julia set up her business, she was just giving violin lessons, so it felt cool that she understood me a bit more than my other friends do, but it still felt like such a strange world. But now she's also thinking about developing her online course and more about putting the online part of her business. I don't know, I should probably finish that sentence actually. Like she wants to put more attention into that part of her business. Yeah, sometimes you don't have the luxury, blah blah blah. I don't know what you should do then. I feel like a horrible advisor. No, just it's so important to have these emotional connections, and if you don't have them, then just keep trying to make them in whatever way is possible for you. And sometimes it feels more possible than other times. I also feel very lonely often, and what else do I have to say actually? Oh, one last thing I wanted to talk about with this sharing video that's getting so long now. So this week there was a woman who was mailing me because she was considering buying my self-love course, which is priced at 149 euros. And then she was a bit doubtful, and she was talking about it to me, and then she was on a certain point like, oh, I think I'll buy it, and then later she said, oh no, I'm only going to do the affirmation course because I have another quite expensive course on self-love going on right now, so maybe I'll buy it later, but not now. And this reminded me of the time when I was getting team members for my referral marketing team, and I was so scared that they would leave me again and they would say, no, it's not a thing. And I had these kind of fears with her again, like, oh, I know she's on the verge of buying, but maybe she's just going to quit last minute. And I noticed that I have this fear to let good stuff in before it's absolutely confirmed. And at the same time, I sometimes feel so scared that I'm sabotaging myself with it and like putting it off. Because I feel so scared of letting it in because maybe I will be disappointed. And yeah, it somehow helps to just share it here with you, and it helps me to keep some distance from it and say like, okay, I want to set the intention to just let every good stuff in my life come in, even and just not considering it to be leaving again. I don't know what it is, if it's some kind of child trauma playing its part, but yeah, I feel a bit sad that she now bought, like, I didn't maybe explain it clearly, the affirmation course is like 25 euros, so it actually makes a big difference in my revenue this month that she decided to go with the other course. And then I get in that same weird place where I think, oh, I should be really joyful. I made 25 euros, but actually I feel a bit sad that it wasn't the 150 euros. Oh well, we'll see how it goes. I feel like there was one. Oh yeah, happy celebration. This week I received a postcard from a Comet Happiness fan, like in real life mail from someone. It's so cool. I've never had this. It's like my first official fan mail through the, how do you say that in English? Like it's so confusing that it's all called mail. But you know what I mean. Like it was a physical card that got to me saying like, oh, Lucy and Els, you are so awesome with Comet Happiness doing this. Well, so that feels like an awesome bucket list point I just reached. I'll talk to you soon. Yes, I'll talk to you soon because the coming week is going to be Life of a Hippie CEO week for me. I'm going to take a sort of holiday from Commit Happiness and only work on Life of a Hippie CEO. So we'll see what all will happen this week for Life of a Hippie CEO. Thank you for watching and see you around.